Let's learn how to find the surface area of a cylinder. So we've learned previously how to find the surface area of prisms, and finding the surface area of a prism used a very consistent formula. And the formula for finding the surface area of a prism looked like this. It was take the area of the base and double it, and then you added the lateral surface area, which was the area around just the outside. And believe it or not, the surface area of a cylinder uses the exact same formula. So the only difference really is that because the bases of a cylinder are circles, we now have to use pi in our calculation. So here's a circle, here's another circle. Those are the bases, and the distance between the bases is 7. So finding the area of the bases is really pretty simple because the area of the base when the base is a circle is the area of a circle, and the formula for that is pi r squared. So that's how you find the area of the base of a circle. The lateral surface area, you may recall from whenever we were working with prisms, the lateral surface area we found by doing the perimeter multiplied by the height. And we're going to do the same thing here. We're going to do the perimeter of the base multiplied by the height. Well, the perimeter of a circle is also something we can find, except we don't call it the perimeter when we are talking about a circle. The outside edge of the circle is called something different. It's called the circumference. So the lateral surface area here is not going to be perimeter times the height. It's going to be circumference times the height. And the circumference of a circle is also a formula we're very familiar with. The circumference is 2 pi times the radius, or you may have learned this as pi times the diameter. So 2 pi r is the circumference times the height. So let's put all this together. Our surface area formula is going to be 2 times pi r squared, that's 2 times the base, plus the lateral surface area, which is circumference times height, and that is 2 pi r times h. And this is the formula that we're going to use to find the surface area of a cylinder. So it is exactly like the formula that we used for finding the surface area of prisms, except because our bases are now circles, we're using pi r squared for the area and 2 pi r for the perimeter. Okay, so let's go ahead and plug in what we know. We know that the radius of this circle is 4, and we know that the height is 7. Let's plug them in. So we've got 2 pi times 4 squared plus 2 pi times 4 times 7. So there are two different ways we can go about getting this answer. One of the ways that we can go about getting this answer is we can get the what is called the approximate answer, and that is by putting this into the calculator just like this using 3.14 for pi. This, in fact, is what the problem asks us to do. It says use 3.14 for pi. So that is eventually what we're going to do, but we can also simplify this a whole lot before we get to that point and get what is called the exact answer. So 4 squared is 16, and 16 times 2 is 32. So 32 pi plus, and then 4 times 7 is 28, and 28 times 2 is 56, so plus 56 pi. And 32 pi plus 56 pi is 88 pi. And 88 pi is not what the problem wants us to do, so we're not finished. But this is what is called the exact answer. The exact answer meaning I do not have to round the answer. 88 pi is exactly what the answer is. The problem says use 3.14 for pi. So what I'm actually going to do is take 88 and multiply by 3.14. Doing that is going to give me a rounded answer, which is fine. The problem asks for a rounded answer. But if the problem said what is the exact answer, I would write 88 pi. The second I change pi into a number like 3.14, I'm not getting the correct answer anymore. I'm getting a rounded answer that, since I'm rounding, is going to be just the tiniest little bit off. But that's okay. The problem says get a rounded answer. That's all right. I actually multiplied this beforehand. It's 276.3. That's what you get when you get 88 times, well, you get 276.32. But the problem says round to the nearest tenth. So that's going to be 276.3. All of the measurements were in feet, so feet. And because this is area, all area measurements are units squared, so 276.3 square feet. And that's how you find the area of a cylinder, or the surface area of a cylinder. Pretty much the same as finding the surface area of a prism, except because they're circles, the formulas do look a little scarier because they've got pi in them, but it's basically the same.